Alright guys, here's the new beast. It's about 7 o'clock this morning, and picked this thing up yesterday afternoon. Didn't get home till late last night. Had a little bit of a fiasco. But this is an 88 Bronco II, 80 Bauer edition, 2.9 V6. It's got the touch drive, four-wheel drive, all that stuff. So it seems to run pretty good, drive out pretty good. The engine has been rebuilt last month, and the transmission was going through. So he said engine and transmission had both been rebuilt and gone through and everything. So that's pretty good. But about 5 minutes away from his house, down the road, pulled to a gas station, and my buddy Caleb's like, "Dude, you got the AC on?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "It doesn't work. I've got to charge it." He's like, "Well, something's pouring out the thing." And I was like, "Oh gosh." I look down there and there's just stuff pouring from the engine. Well, we look under the hood, can't find anything. I end up calling the dude. I'm like, "Hey man, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure out what's leaking." He's like, "Well, let me come down there." So he comes down there, and we figured out it was just a hose, an old hose that was left on there. Had busted, so we trimmed off the hose, fixed it, and then got on our way. So kept going down the road about 10 more minutes and realized, man, I can smell something that smells really hot. And this front left brake caliper here, it just kept getting stuck. So we'd pull over, we'd wash it down, rinse it down, get it cold again, and then it'd free back up and drive on a little bit more. I finally got closer to the house and realized that I could use the e-brake to slow me down and not have to use the brakes. So got a brake caliper sitting at the parts store right now, but I go pick it up, and I'm also going to see if I can throw some refrigerant in here. What's interesting is this back door, how shiny it is, and there's a couple spots in the paint that definitely aren't perfect, but it's super shiny because the back doors on these are made out of fiberglass. So the paint on the fiberglass has lasted longer than the paint on the body. So, but you can tell by just from us messing around yesterday, the little bit of oil and grease that got on here has actually shined it up a bit, and that's all just moisture. I think I can buff this thing out and make it look pretty good. And then the roof is missing some paint, but I'm thinking if I tape off the drip rail all the way around the top and paint the top white, for one thing, the truck will stay cooler, and that'll look a lot better. So, which I even thought about painting over this and making it white, but the tan's fine. So it's Eddie Bauerish with the tan. So let me show you inside. So there you go. So missing the armrest here, little spot right there, it needs to be sewn back up. Steering wheel is dirty as can be. But overall, the interior in this thing is actually not bad at all. Like, I don't think the rear seat's ever been sat in. I mean, it's and look, the headliner is still good. So pretty amazing. So get this cleaned up, and little things here and there, and it'll be fairly nice. All right, so here's the engine, and it is the same engine. They pulled it out, and the heads are cracked. They had to put new heads on it, replace everything. You see that all this stuff has been changed. There is the culprit that, so you can see, yeah, the shiny one down in there. That hose right there is the one that messed up on us last night. So let's see if we can get some AC in here and fix that front brake. Fuel gauge sometimes works, comes in and out. Temperature gauge works. Speedo and tachometer both work. So get this air going. The radio does halfway work. So it actually cruises down the road pretty good here. All right, guys, I got my little pump going here. Pulling a vacuum on the system, so it's dropping down pretty good. And got jack under here. Pull this wheel off so we get this brake changed out. All right, guys. So I started hearing this hub going zzz, making a noise going down the road, and I thought, man, this thing's got hot enough to melt the grease out of this thing. And look at this. You can see that there is some grease in there, but not very much at all. But that's the locking mechanism. So it's really important to have that covered in grease. So I will add grease back to that before we put it back on. But you can see how hot that got. So it's really scary. So here's the new caliper. Just picked it up from Advanced. It is a reman. And you can see that it only replaces that center section there. So we just got to take these pins out, bust everything loose. A rod and just drive these pins out. This will pretty much just slide up out of here. You see that it's kind of working its way up now. That will work its way out. You can pull that off there. Next thing you gotta do is break this line loose. So I just broke the tension on that bolt. You can see it's leaking out a little bit of brake fluid. So get that moved over to the new one. You should be able to slide it back together. Guys, so what I just did, I got the brake line back on there, and then went ahead and cracked open the bleeder almost all the way, and just dropped this down pretty low, and popped the cap on the reservoir, and it looked like it pretty much bled itself, so that should be good. Now you just get the pin back going, and then just push it in a little bit, and then tap it on in, and it will go to this little lock here, right there, done. Okay, so the brakes feel good. All right, I got to take the old one back to Advance, get my core charge back, got that torqued down, now I can mess with the AC. All right, guys, so gauge on here is down below. It should really run this way for a while, but I'm kind of curious to see if it even works. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill her up. All right, the AC is running now. You hear the compressor in there coming along. And it's somewhat cool coming out of the vents. Not fantastic. I'm gonna go pick up a little bit more refrigerant. Throw that in there, it should be good. All right, guys, so you'll probably notice that I'm not in the Bronco. I'm in my dad's F-150. So the Bronco, AC works great. Went and got a couple more cans of refrigerant, popped those in, and it seems to be doing really good. The right side brake has now locked up. So the left side, driver's side, was giving me problems. Got it fixed, everything seemed good, and you usually do brakes together, you know, front and then rear. And I should have went and changed the other one. I just thought, oh, maybe I can get away with it, you know, because it seemed to be working fine. Well, then it quit working fine, and it actually got worse than the other one. Luckily, I was just driving around here close to the shop, so left it at the shop, and hopefully I can get another caliper on there, and then be good to go. All right, guys, back in the shop for the second time today. Now working on this wheel. So pull it off, pull that brake off, then I'm going to grab a new one. Okay, caliper's off. It took about 5 minutes. Pop those pins out, took the line off, and then the line, I just wrapped a glove around it, taped it up, and then stuck it up there, so hopefully it won't pour out too much. So I'm gonna take that and run back over to the parts store. All right, guys, there it is. It's running, got the AC on, idled up a little bit. And, this thing actually has a pretty good sound. It's pretty deep and throaty. It sounds way bigger than just a 2.9 V6. So, seems to be doing good. Brakes fixed now on both sides. Shouldn't have any more issues out of those. The rears are drums, so I don't see those giving any issues. So, really glad that part's done. Now I'm gonna go test her some more. And this thing, like I said, sat around for a long time. And then the guy had the engine and transmission both rebuilt. So that's been done. Now it's just the little things, just for an older vehicle. I mean, but once those things are done, I mean, this thing's gonna be a great truck. So, All right, back in the Bronco. Man, this AC feels so good. So that's awesome. We're gonna take it down the road, try it out, make sure we're good. And I think that's it. So I did sell the smart car. So the smart car is gone. I sold the guy for his business. He's gonna use it. He liked the way I had it set up and everything, so that's kind of cool. So went and paid off a loan and then ended up buying this too. So I feel like I came out pretty good. The main reason I got this thing is because of a lot of the work that's been done to it already. Instead of buying a vehicle I don't know much about, at least this one, you know, some stuff's been done to it already. So it'll be fun. We'll play with it for a while. So we did find some ants in the truck. We lifted up the back seat, find Cameron's seat belt, and a whole bunch of black ants. It just came crazy. So I sprayed down the inside with some insect killer. Cameron's still finding ants. So I was testing out the four-wheel drive. So right now we're in four-wheel drive low. Everything seems to work pretty good. Check this out.
Everyone watch this. Sorry, I'm all not a good driver.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but please back up.
Yeah, let's try it again. Ready?
Last time it worked. It's not working.
There we go.
I'm sorry you can see this.
There we go.
Yeah. Sorry you didn't really see that. Oh. The camera got a little swat.
All right, going down.
Are you ready?
Ready?
Here we go! To the future! Okay, please back up. Please.
Now we're gonna go up this hill.
Okay.
You see it?
I think we're gonna make it, bro.
We got it, dude. We're in a Ford four-wheel drive, man.
Oh my god. The
This
camera's...
thing crawls around good, don't it?
Yeah.
It's even only got those all terrains, but it does pretty good. Whoa. You go the real steep one?
What?
There's a real steep one here. You see it? Look at this.
Now we're talking. Sorry, everyone, I got hiccups here.
Yeah, full drive works pretty good.
I'm sorry, everyone, that I'm making weird sounds just because I have the hiccups.